Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars, and you'd know. I have every. If you tell him, some. They were. I'm. You. So, no, it was long and perhaps in. You can come keep me company when. go.
He will... True. Not really. It's good to know you're not as... I'll make sure, Vran.
My men tell me you've been nothing but... I must say, you can enter the temple as a friend of the Del Reader.
We need to agree on a plan. Camelot will soon realize that something is wrong.
Don't fret. The Dalriada value honor over life. And we gave you...
Aren't you aware that taking the temple was the worst possible idea? This will only quicken Camelot's intervention. If they send Galahad...
You'll treat him like any other enemy of the tribes. And taking control of the temple was... inevitable.
Why? Because you don't like the All-Mother? Or was this meant to be a provocation to warrant Camelot's invasion?
We believe in the same goddess. but we call her Mera.
That doesn't answer my question.
I thought I heard something. You must have a lot of courage. Before I kill you, tell me, how did you manage to do it? That would explain why there was no bloodshed. I appreciate it, friend of the Dalriada. Perhaps I won't even kill you. They call me One Eye. If you went to the trouble of coming all the way here, I guess you must be looking for me. Do the men of the Horns of the South, Master Commander? Are they yet again stumbling about like babes in the woods? And here I thought the keepers, all locked up in their keep, could at least hold on to just this piece of land, since they haven't been able to defend the entire area for a long time.
Oh, come off it. You don't need to rub it in our faces every chance you get. How many times have we talked about this, huh? Must be a week now, and you still feel the need to gloat. We have a guest. What brings you here? Feargas is a good lad, but he doesn't understand just how deep in shit the South is, or what needs to be done to dig ourselves out of it. I'm doing business, but we should start from... Caradoc. Haven't heard that name for a very long time, but I do remember that years ago, I gave him a set of our pins. I see you wearing one now. But you don't look like a knight. And knowing him, I doubt you took this pin off his corpse. So, with that out the way, what brings you here? Galahad! That madman's coming here. Damn it. Bloody windfucker will fly from Camelot to the Horns just to hang half the garrison for whatever he himself perceives as... And I can assure you, they won't be... Oh, well, I knew it. See, I told you that if you didn't leave the damn temple alone, there'd be trouble.
He's welcome to come here.
Oh, I can't take it anymore. Don't tell me you're that naive. Do you know how he got the moniker The Pure? He somehow got it into his thick head that evil is rampant everywhere. So he goes around setting everything on fire. Sure, it's pure. Well, apart from the ashes of burned corpses, obviously, but that's not something... My arse is purer than that fellow. Even right after I take a huge dump.
I cannot wait.
See? And unless one of them comes to his senses, the entire South will go up in flames. It will be purified. That's for sure. But I don't plan on dying for Camel. The captain of the Horns of the South should support... Of course, traditionally, it means supporting Camelot as well. But what difference? Maybe I don't have a very traditional approach to leadership like Feargas. Who do you think persuaded those Camelot snobs to finance the rebuilding of the lighthouse under the guise of restoring the splendor of the South? Huh? Me, of course. And I was using that money to stockpile our... I mean, who the hell needs a second lighthouse? If any northern nobles had ever deigned to move their asses to the south and think about it for 5 seconds, they'd have come up with it themselves, wouldn't they? I'm not sure if this is... What do you think? Striking a deal with the tribes is the only... With their fearless army and reserves of Weirdstone, combined with my business sense, we'll soon make the South independent of those... If we allow the Del Rida tribes to settle in the South, they'll become a military force all of Avalon will have to reckon with. There will be no more bandits. No more crippling tax. People will be able to peacefully live out the day. This is the only sensible solution. Only through an alliance. They'll take care of the fighting and I'll deal with the economy. The people have no more hunger, no more waiting for the lordships in Camelot to kindly turn their coiffed heads in our direction. No more of our blood spilled in raids by desperate bandits. But that's enough talking for...
Tell him about the crypt.
Why?
Anyone who found a way to get through my men. Some people are swayed by arguments. Your vision alone wouldn't persuade.
I don't really have a choice. In the sunken village, you'll find the entrance to Seawolf. Everyone knows the story about the bad druids who sealed and flooded the place, which is true, but only up to a point. Well, it just so happens that my companion here broke those old seals and replaced them with his own.
Take the such.
Behind the statue, you'll find a place where it fits. And if that doesn't convince you that the foundations upon which Camelot were built are more the colour of shit than ivory, you can get into bed with Galahad.
Go there. See it with your own eyes.
With our...
you. The Dalriata promised me revenge. Everyone who comes here has... We're stuck here, me and my men, between life and death. You can't free me through death. Many have tried. Yes, if you ever find a way, come to us. I am Sewell Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before. I was loyal. I was... Yes, it is my legacy. The jewel of the South, the safe haven of honor. I've been here. I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on it. Then came the war. I fought by his side, but Arthur wanted more. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then, but Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted so we wouldn't risk Arthur's life. They thought I had died. Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do any. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for their lives. Then, he tried to be... He sacrificed them, and this is the great... We cannot be helped. The Dalriata promised to burn down Camelot. Camelot was built on betrayal. Build a new world.
So? Yes, it's all a facade, and it's just seawall. Think what else they must be hiding. Really, there's no point in invoking tradition any longer. The only thing that matters is safety and loyalty towards... Now I'd say it looks like someone needs to die. And somehow, you unwittingly became the most important person in the region because you... Galahad needs to die. We'll say he got himself into trouble, and then we'll sweep the entire map. We'll be able to continue our talks with the tribes by the time... Why, if we allow him to nose around here, and if he does find out, I promise I'll drag you down with me. I doubt there is any other... And without half our garrison in the... Meanwhile, I can't afford to target any of them myself. As you see, you go ahead and I'll placate the Huns.
It's Sir Galahad to you, vagrant. We're his personal guard. But you won't be meeting. It's true that this pin obliges me to take you to the knight. But did you go? The door is open. Try.
Oh, who goes there? I hope this is important. Otherwise, you're going to burn. Along with me. Depends on who's asking and what they want. Alright, just be quick. Oh, be my guest. Fight, you mongrel. Oh.
Dozens of the best Del Reader warriors are holding the temple.
I'm sure that when Galahad arrives, we will be able to defeat them together.
Can't you see that One Eye will stop at nothing to destroy Camelot and all its...
I wouldn't expect anything else. What they consider their greatest power is, in fact, their greatest weakness.
What bloody tactics? What are you on about? It's like talking to a bloody wall. You're here, finally. Tell me you have good news, or I'm going to lose it.
What?
Phew.
Traitor! You are both...
Feargas, calm down. For obvious reasons, I couldn't tell you anything about this, and judging, you have to understand it was the only reasonable solution.
Reasonable?
Not even a full-blown war between Camelot and the tribes unfolding on our territory. In the haze...
Camelot is our sovereign. Sovereigns don't betray their subjects. We have served Camelot since the foundation of the Horns of the South. If we are to fall, we should fall under Camelot's banner.
Please, just stop that drivel. And we can't, because instead of sending us decent recruits, anyone who are left in the villages after the army has already taken the ones who are any use. And what do Camelot do? They send the butcher to motivate us. And how does Galahad motivate people?
But...
Do you really want people to burn on the stake because their boots weren't shiny enough, do you?
I won't listen to this anymore.
That wasn't so bad. He feels slighted, and we need to give him some thank you for the help. Without... Now, I have to figure out how to deal with... And I have to explain all of this to my men. I don't know which of those... Yes, you were sent here by... He probably did. And what did he send you here for? Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur, how are you supposed to do that? But if Caradoc sent you here, I think I know what he might have wanted. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places, and one of those places, have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could be... Well, none of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really... That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down. If you wake up... I mean, when you wake up again in the morning, unfortunately, the gong is broken. So first, fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me, just tell him I sent you. And he... Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers, maybe it'll be enough for... It's your... Go.
Why would you want to fix it? Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant ancient well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Of course I can fix it. You just have to bring me what... Problem is that there was only one source of... But since the entrance collapsed... How did you... Oh. I have...